So in today's tutorial, I'm just going to show you a couple of different patterns that you can follow as far as placement of rhinestones when you're blinging an item out. And so you can tell that I've used the exact same color of rhinestone, which is a crystal AB in the glass. But the way that I placed them was differently, so they each have a different look. In this particular case, I used a pattern. I used mainly a 5mm SS20, but then when it came to any gaps, I used smaller sizes so that you cannot see the phone case underneath where I placed the rhinestones because they've been placed so tightly and close together. On this particular case though, you can see the phone case underneath where I placed the rhinestones because they have not been placed closely together or tightly together. The first row was placed, and then the second row, each stone goes directly underneath the stone above it. And that was the pattern that I followed consistently on this case. Now these patterns are patterns that you can follow on phone cases, shoes, or whatever it is that you're blinging out, tumbler cups or whatever. And I see people, everyone has a different way that they place stones, but the end result is going to be different. So for you newbies out there, I just wanted to show you a couple of different ways that you can place the stones. And then, because then you can choose the look that you're going for. Now these are the stones that I actually used. Again, these are a crystal AB in the glass. 4 different sizes is what I have laid out here. On the case on the left, this was what I used only, a 5mm SS20. I also mainly used this size on the case on the right, but for the gaps, because I wanted everything really, really tight together, then I used these 3 sizes of stones. This is a 2mm SS6, this is a 3mm SS12, this is a 4mm SS16, and again, these 3 sizes were only used to fill in any gaps or spaces. But the main stone used was the 5mm SS20. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've applied some glue to my case so I can show you now the pattern I followed, and what I used was E6000 glue. This is perfect for shoes and cups and cases and all that. So I'm going to use my wax pencil. I'll leave a link for this. This is amazing. And I'm going to use that to pick up the stones. Now what I'm going to do is these 2 stones that are on the row above it, I'm going to place this stone directly in the center underneath those 2. And this is what I'm going to follow all the way across. Now each time that I place a stone on this particular pattern, it's going directly underneath the 2 above it. And I'm just going to continue that all the way across. And as you can see, it's just really closing in any gaps except for right here. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in just a second. And I'm going to go all the way across like that. I can remember when I first started blinging and I saw this particular pattern on, actually it was a Hello Kitty face, and I just thought, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And so and I could tell that this pattern really does make it really does make the end result look really, really pretty. And so that's what first got me interested in following this pattern. Now again, I'm gonna go the second row. I'm going under that 5mm SS20, and that's where I'm gonna start. And I'm just going to keep placing that stone directly in the center underneath the 2 above it and go all the way across. And again, this is a 5mm SS20. And this is the pattern that I'm following. And this is the pattern that I followed on this entire case. And then I just used the smaller sizes to fill in any gaps where I couldn't actually fit the 5mm. So now, as you can tell, I'm actually going to be able to put a 5mm right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. but it's going to give me just a tiny space right there. So now I'm going to go in with a smaller size, which would be a 2mm, and just kind of feel that gap that's right there. And then I'm going to kind of swing it around over here, and I'm going to take a 3mm or an SS 12, and I'm just going to fill that in, and see how I was able to just kind of fill and close in any gaps right there. So, and now I'm just going to continue and go all the way the rest down. So I just wanted to show you that I finished this case following that pattern. I haven't done the sides of the case or anything. I just wanted to show you the completed front of the case, and I just followed that same pattern the full length of the case. So now let me show you how to do the other pattern. Okay, so on this case, I kind of showed you guys this earlier. What this pattern consists of, it's super easy and it's fast to do this. I just went straight across And then each stone just continues to go right directly underneath the stone above it, just going all the way down like that. So now I'm just going to show you how to do that. It's super simple. And you can also follow this pattern when you're doing shoes or on a cup or anything that you're adding rhinestones to. Okay, so for this next pattern, I've already gone ahead and applied my glue. Now it's weird, I've noticed when I do this pattern that I go down instead of going across, but you can certainly go across when you're doing this pattern. I just, for some reason, I just go down. And another thing that I wanted to mention, especially if you're new to adding rhinestones, when you have your glue on your item, it gives you the ability to slide your rhinestones around. Like, see, I can place this rhinestone, but I can move it around because the glue's wet. So always remember that when you're applying your rhinestones. You can always kind of slide them around and put them where you want them to be. And if you ever get to where you can't slide your rhinestone around, then that means that your glue's drying and it's probably time to apply more. So that's just a helpful tip too. Because sometimes I'm kind of coming in from an angle and then I'll kind of notice once I straighten everything out that, oh, these aren't very straight. So see, just I'm able to really kind of slide that rhinestone around and put it where I want it to be. And kind of get them a little bit more straight and even. So now I'm just going to keep going across. And again, these are just straight across, and then the next one just goes right underneath the next one. And I will say about this pattern, I do feel like it's a little bit quicker applying it because you're actually using a little bit less stone than you are with the other one, because the other one you're filling in every single space, and with this pattern you are not. So this definitely is a little bit faster. So I'm just going to keep applying, and then I'll slide around if I need to make sure that they're straight. And never apply, depending on your skill level and how fast that you are, you never want to apply too much glue to an area, because if it starts to dry before you get there, you're just going to have to reapply your glue. So okay, I'm just going to go and again just kind of make sure that these are straight, and I'm still able to slide the stone around, so that means that my glue is perfect. And then I'm just going to finish out this section of the glue. And see, on this particular pattern, I'm not filling in any spaces. It's just straight across and underneath each stone. So then again, I can still kind of slide around if I feel like they're moving a little bit. And then also too, when you're using your pick me up tool, I've noticed that sometimes because you're pressing down into your glue, some glue can get on the end of your wax stick. And so just kind of take your finger and make sure that you keep that kind of cleaned up, and you can do that through the process. Okay, so I finished this one and I just followed the pattern going straight up and down and across, with each rhinestone being placed directly underneath the one above it. So hopefully this tutorial has been helpful, and I'll just show you the end result, both of them side by side, and you can kind of see the different look that each rhinestone placement that it gives each case, just the uniqueness of each one. So I hope that this tutorial has been helpful for you. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can visit my shop Blingee Thingee. I'll leave links for everything in the description box. The crystal AB glass rhinestones that I used in each size, the wax pencil picker tool that I used, and also the E6000 glue. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.